got mail.
I think it's hard sometimes to see when the people you love or even yourself, you can't do anything or feel good enough to do something. Because like right now, I'm watching one of my most like treasured family members kind of go through a moment where they can't pass through their emotions to do what they need to do. And I feel like I've been stuck like that for many years, where your emotions kind of control what you do, what you say, rather than doing what you need to do. And to me, I feel like I've constantly been on that route where your emotions take hold. And it's hard because with one of my most treasured family members, we had to do something. And I know people are so keen on doing what needs to be done for themselves to protect themselves, or even just tendency and habits. But it's kind of hard because me having a lot of responsibility at a young age, not gonna complain about it because I'm not, but with that it comes with disadvantages too. When you're given a level of responsibility, you take on more than maybe what was yours originally. But when you're not given a lot of responsibility, yeah, you have freedom. Yeah, you are able to do what you want. But you lack that small sense of structure. I'm not going to say I'm the most structured person. Hell no. Far from that. But watching one of my most treasured individuals of my life be swept away from emotion and skewed from their path, I think that's really hard. And that's where emotional regulation, emotional development, having healthy coping mechanisms to push yourself through life is extremely important. Because I know when you grow up doing what you need to do on practically survival mode, you don't have any room for your emotions. So you either self-soothe of, overworking yourself because you don't want to face the reality of your emotions, like you just can't. Or you go through moments of spacing out because your body is so keen on making you survive and work and do what you have to do that you don't make time for your emotions. And I feel when you have like that mentality, or you grew up that way, you're really glorified of like, wow, look at you. You're able to go through life and not really be emotional. But it's kind of like, but in the long run, you're going to have those emotions simmer in the background, no matter what you do, no matter what you say. And sometimes people get to a point where they feel like they can't even access those feelings. But the thing is, we're human. We are going to feel them, regardless. So I've met people who are on that side of hardcore, just not facing their emotions. And it's scary almost, or almost unbelievable that people could operate this way. But then there's other people who are so keen on their emotions, and everything about their life revolves around how they feel. Like if they don't want to do something, just because they don't want to, they're not going to do it. There's two sides of that coin, of either being super hardcore coping mechanism of I'm just gonna go do what I gotta do every day, and you're constantly doing shit, but you never take time to really digest what the fuck happened, or digest how you're really feeling, just to let go, so that it just turns into a cycle where you end up killing yourself because you can't stop, or something inside you just kind of just rots away in a way, but never goes away. It kind of haunts you. But But then the other side of it is you engulf yourself so much of the emotion of this is how I feel, this is how I think, and it's your reality in your eyes, but it is not the true experience of life of what's happening. You might be thinking like, oh, everyone hates me, nobody loves me, I'm not important. So everything that you do comes off that way, even though you might have a family that really loves you, but you can't see it. It's not to say that you're crazy, it's just how you feel, and that's okay. But there's two sides of it. And to see this person just, I'm trying to balance myself out naturally, because to me, I do believe emotions are important. They need to be dealt with. But I know depending how you were raised or what circumstances you were brought up in, you're going to go about it a different way. And I say the clash of the middle is to get really good at dealing with your emotions by getting through them, by finding ways to cope with them. Because to me, I would say it took me days on days to get through my emotions because they were just that bad. I feel them so hard. But it got to a point where I've been able to get through it, where I have my own process. Okay, I'm like, okay, this is happening. I feel this way. I allow that feeling to go and I let it out. I might have a moment of sadness and I'm like, damn, I'm really sad this thing happened. But I cry about it. I let go of it. And then I'm like, you know what? It happened and that's okay. And I'm still here. I'm all right. I get myself back up and I move on. It's a moment. But maybe it takes me like a good 7 to 10 minutes to get through it. But before, it would take me days, weeks, to get over. But now it's taking me 7 minutes. So get to a point where you can get through your emotions, let them out, recognize them, honor them. And it's just a muscle. It's a thing you have to constantly do. And I know that's cliche and people say it all the time, but it's naturally true, because imagine a fucking day. I take a whole day to process my feelings, to now taking 10 minutes, less than 7 minutes to get through it. That's progress, because then you get so good at it to the point where if shit happens to you or anything happens, you are so above the standard and it's just gonna melt off of you. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, that happened. Let me take a second. Deep breath, let it out, you let it go. Boom. Like, imagine that. That's crazy. Like, that's where I'm trying to get to. But I'm not perfect either. There's going to be days where it may take me a few more minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. But it's way faster than I ever had done in my life. And I think that's crazy. I think it's really cool that we could do that as humans. And I'm proof of that, But this person that I love and cherish and admire and find amazing, it's really hard to see them stuck in a rut, because part of me wants to go in there and save them, but part of me is also like, they're on their journey. You see someone drowning, you want to go and get them, but the thing is, that doesn't help. If I go and save them, they're gonna go back in. And it's not because they want to, it's just habit, it's instinctual, it's just how it's been. They're doing the best they can. This is what they know. So I'm not mad at them for why they're acting the way they do. It's more of, okay, they're doing it again. I have to let them figure out how to swim, even though they might be drowning. But I'm there, I'm still watching them, it's not like I'm completely ignoring them, no. But if they're like, help me, and they really want the help, then I'm more than happy to be like, hey, give me your hand. You're gonna have to, this is how you swim. But they're in a point in their life where they want to figure themselves out, and that's okay. But it's hard to watch these things happen where someone you love so much gets into that pool. And the pool is not bad. I never demonize that pool. You could swim in the pool. You can relax in the pool. You could do whatever you want in the pool. But it's really hard to watch them struggle, start drowning, because they're important. And it's it's a hard thing to witness, for sure. And I'm pretty sure many of you have been in that pool, have watched someone drown, and you try to save them. But I'm just saying, like, from the polar opposites of coping mechanisms, like, you really need to figure out how to develop yourself emotionally. And it takes time. Because I know a lot of social media and a lot of people are like, you just gotta thug it out, you gotta do this, you gotta lock in, but it takes time. We're human, you know? And I know a lot of, like, the more macho-ness of culture is like, don't think about your emotions, don't talk about them. I would say have a confidant, have a therapist, have someone you tell or discuss it with. And it could even be a faith, it could be God, it could be a belief system, religion, just something that creates some type of comfort. Because even if you don't want to tell nobody, your worries, your struggle, your pain is valuable, because it gives you an opportunity to be better than you are, or to reaffirm what you know. And it's going to take time, and you need to be patient with yourself if you're on both of the sides of the spectrum of how you deal with stuff, how you deal emotionally with things. And just understand that every time an emotion comes out, maybe something not great, of sadness, anger, disappointment, resentment comes out, it's an opportunity to really let it out, but in a healthy way, of maybe self-isolation for a moment. Like saying, I need to walk away for a second and really figure it out, or put a pin on it and be like, you know what, I can't do it here. I really need to take a moment when I get home, or when I'm in the car by myself. Let me go for a walk real quick and digest, because you deserve that grace. But imagine you can get to a point of acknowledging how you feel and your standards. So if someone says, hey, you know, they talk to you rude, or they say something pretty fucking disrespectful, then you can come back and just say, hey, like, just in the moment, like, you're so good about it that you recognize it, you get through it, that you legit come back, right? Like, compared to if one of your friends says something that was pretty disrespectful, you need a second to get through it, right? Like the beginning nature of, you know, they say something really fucking rude and you react, right? And you start getting upset, you get angry, and you can't really articulate yourself, but you're just extremely just going off of, like, feelings and how things are and how you react. It's gonna come off immature, right? But then the next version would be, maybe you realize, like, that's not how you act, this is not how you this is not how you communicate, this is not how you have a conversation. That is an argument, that is a conflict, that is war, that is a disagreement, that is you attacking them because you feel attacked, right? Versus the next version of you would be, oh shit, like, you realize what's happening, maybe you're not confident in speaking in how you feel or what you think, and you take a step back. And the next day, you guys hang out, you decide, you know what, I digested it, I need to talk about it. And you talk to this person saying, like, hey, I need to talk to you real quick. And you express yourself saying, hey, you did this and it's pretty fucking hurtful. I don't agree with that, you know? And that's another way of coping with stuff. But another way of going about it is, if it's happening again and they're disrespecting you, and you go, like, in the moment, right there, because you're so good about it, that you go, they say something like, oh yeah, dude, you're fucking fat as shit, ha ha ha. And to you don't like people talking about your weight, or you're just not cool about that. And you just go, hey, I get you making a joke, but don't make jokes about my weight. Not cool, man. And if they respect it, great. But if they're like, oh man, you're being so fucking sensitive, it's just a joke, and it's like, I get it's a joke, but don't talk about that shit. That's not cool with me. And then, of course, it goes, you know, going more deeper into that. Like, if they decide not to respect you, that's on you, on what you do. But beyond that, it's more about how you express yourself, or what you say, or what boundaries you set about what's going on, right? Because you slowly get better and better and better at what you do. And mind you, there's going to be fuck-ups, there's going to be mistakes that you're going to do. Maybe you're going to be so so empowered about you getting to a point of like, wow, I could talk about what bothers me. But then you might go to the extremist route of being extremely like vocal, like, I don't like this, I don't like that. And just know you're gonna self-regulate of like, okay, I'm doing it too much, I need to figure it out, or I need to have a better way of communication, let me figure it out. And just know that's okay, because that's human nature. That's how you get better at vocalizing yourself. That's how you get better to do what you gotta do. And I think it's just a good opportunity when you start feeling like, oh, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm upset, or I'm not feeling good about myself, that it's a good opportunity to see what's happening, and letting it happen, because you can't outrun your emotions. They're you. And see what you got to do next about it. Of like, maybe I don't want to feel awkward around this person. Maybe I should confront it. Maybe I should accept it. Maybe I should move on. Maybe I should, there's so many things you could do with it. But when emotions take you away from what you need to do, you really need to look at yourself you need to work on your coping mechanisms and how you can minimize the effect time, because you're going to need to do things on the daily. You're going to need a job to keep money afloat, because money does keep the world circling. You need money on a base level. So, like, you can't always just miss work because you're having a bad day, right? You can have bad days for sure, but not abuse it to the point of like you constantly missing work. Like, that's where it becomes concerning, because you need to go to work to get a job, to at least have money to have some type of income. But the other thing is, like, there's other things that you can't neglect, like your relationships or like your connections. Like, you need some type of socialization, at least, either with a parent, a friend, or even just going to a club or school. There's things that you have obligations and responsibilities for that you need to prioritize. But when your emotions like take over, that's when it becomes concerning. But if you can afford to, maybe seclude yourself or isolate yourself to help self-regulation of like, maybe you have an upcoming, 10 days that you have compiled at work that you can, afford to miss, then I would say, yeah, take that moment to take some time for yourself. But my thing is, I'm not demonizing people who are like, you know what, I need a week off because I just can't do work. I'm too overwhelmed with my life and my emotional and mental health. I get it. We have those moments. But my thing is, move forward. Start making strides, baby steps, whatever movement it is, so that you can just be able to navigate life in such a healthier way. Like, that's what I want for you. And I think I know you can do it. You can do that because you have it in you. If you really want to change, if you really want to proceed, you can do it, and understand the mistakes are going to come. So you can't be discouraged by it. You can, but just understand, if that's your goal, if you want to become better, you can, and I'm so excited to see what happens to you and for you when you get to a point of being able to balance logic, balance emotions, balance like a whole bunch of stuff, because then it's like, wow, look at you, like, you did it. You are becoming so well-rounded and a better person that it helps not just you, but also the people around you, So to me, I'm just overall just excited. And I know that this person that means dearly, it is so important to me. Even though I'm not happy with like where they're at, but I'm happy that it's happening too, because they need to get through it. And I also know I'm not gonna leave them alone, where I'm gonna be like, oh, you gotta figure this shit out yourself. I'm gonna be there and be like, hey, and give them advice if they want it, and just be there for them, And there might be other people around your community that are in the same boat. I'm not gonna say you need to dedicate yourself to them, but just be like, hey, I'm here, I love you, and I don't think we have enough of that, really. So if you have someone in mind that came up that you want to say what's up, say what's up. Say, hey, just checking up on you. Know that I love you, I care about you, I'm here. And if you have the time or energy, listen, So, yeah, that's just what I wanted to say, and that you got this. I believe in you. And reevaluate your life, see what's going on, check in on yourself. You deserve that grace. You're important. And I truly believe in you.